very much for turning back in. My name is Fonny. In my channel, I talk about my houseplant and my Hoyas. Today it is another episode since probably 3 to 4 months ago of the series of houseplant tour. I found it very interesting when I see other YouTubers houseplant tour, especially showing how their houseplant grows throughout a period of time. And I also heard some of the subscribers mention that they would be interested to see how my Hoyas grow throughout the time. So I think this will be a really good opportunity to not just show my Hoyas, but also show many of the philodendrons, monstera, ferns, and other houseplants that I have. If you are interested throughout the video to know specifically the particular houseplant, how I offer the condition to them, please leave your comment down below so then I could try to figure out the answer for you, or we can discuss if you have any questions you have. If you like this type of content and you would like to support me continuously filming similar content 3 or 4 months later, don't forget to like this video and share this video with your friends. If you like this type of content and you don't want to miss out next time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out next time. So without further ado, let's catch the sun so then we can film everything before the sun goes down. Let's start with this side over here. It is such a sunny morning that I can see all of these heart-shaped philodendron very nicely. I haven't turned on any light this morning. Currently it is around 11 a.m. and as you can see, the sun is very mild, and I can start here with non-Hoya plant. Let's start from here. This one here is SP Columbia. I bought this one, I think, before winter time, and it has pushed out this leaf. You can check out my unboxing video if you want to see how it arrives my home. And this, you can see it is a new leaf from the 3 leaf that's come with it. And you can also spot out this new leaf slowly getting out from the caterpillar. I am very happy to spot this leaf to be very large, I think, comparatively, because you can see that this side has kind of opened, but it's not fully opened yet. So the size of the opening new leaf over there is actually the same size as this one. So essentially when it fully opened up, I have very high hope that this one will be very large. Well, hopefully it's very large, but even it's not, it's okay. I am very happy that all of the existing leaf that comes with it actually are doing very well. And even though they come in slightly lime shade or slightly lime colored, it's still very healthy, as you can see over here. And this one, I believe it is damages from the box when it's shipped. But if you look into this new leaf over here, it is very nice, but it kind of like curled backwards. Let me know in the comment box below, how do you make this one open a little bit instead of like curling like a taco? I have enough water, I believe. As you can see, there are still some water in the reservoir, and I always keep the lechuza pot moist, water. So let me know in the comment box below, are there any tricks from you to make it open up like this? Or as this has large enough, it will curl backwards. I'll have a look at this one and see how that turned out. Then let's move on to this side, the philodendron heart-shaped leaf wall. As you can see, the height has reached super high. This 2-leaf over here is extremely large. I could walk closer, or I could claw over to show you. So this is my hand. I think this one is probably around 60 centimeters large, and the one next to it is identical almost, both the shape and the size. And this one behind is the smallest leaf, if you pen backwards a little bit. I remember that is because I repotted the, this one here is Philodendron Dean Mcdowell. This small leaf pushed out after I have repotted it, but then I believe this one, maybe not. I actually think it is this one that comes out afterwards, or this one that comes out afterwards. So that is just a hit because of the repotting. So if you repot your plants, just be prepared that it will significantly size down, maybe. And I could show you the newest leaf, which is a bit intense, which is behind, super tall. So if you look from the back, the cataphyll is huge, and also the stem is growing constantly large. I can pan it like this. You can see that this is the original node that comes with, and I have 3 leaves at the time when I got it. So the entire thing has grown in a year time, and this, I believe it is because both the light, it wants to get most light, and also because of the pot is hitting over here. So it kind of grow upwards, but because this entire wall is packed with leaf, if you see it from behind, you understand what I meant. It really needs to grow tall enough to get more light. So there you go. This tallest leaf, it just pops up all the way from there. I guess this is more than 1.2 meters high, this leaf. It is still kind of hardening off, so I believe this one will continue to grow slightly larger than now, but I also think the leaf will slowly face towards the source of sun. And then you probably can see this huge leaf over here. Where is this coming from? This one over here is Philodendron Gloriosum, dark form. As you can see, this one is facing this direction. The reason is because I need to repot, or I need to chop it up. I can show you the reason. Now that you see below, this one is Philodendron Gloriosum. I have made some amendment in the stem. The stem over here, it has pressed extremely hard to the pot on the edge, and I could be lazy and just keep it there, but I realized that the new leaf is pretty deformed. If you look at the latest new leaf that pushed out, let me see. It actually is over there on the other side. Let me see. Yes. It should be this one. This one is the latest new leaf. It's still in a very big size, and you can see that the lobe touches each other very well and nicely. However, this damage is because it is hitting the pot so much, and I was lazy, and I also think it's the beginning of winter. I don't want to cut it off. I'll just let it grow how it is. Even though the size is almost the same as the previous one, it has some damages. And I can show you, when it comes to the newest cataphyll, how that looks like. So essentially what I did is I chopped this up, and I was kind of lazy. I just reversed it. So originally, you can see the new cataphyll over there. You can see that arc area, that one is the damage because of the pot limitation. And now it is actually pushing out new leaf. You can see on the very end, the tip over there. It also browned off on the tip because of this restriction it has been facing. And I think there were pests before, but now I have fixed it. And that's how I did it. So essentially it has hit all the way to this part, and then all of the new cataphyll has been deformed, and then I just chop it up and turn it to another direction. So you can see that the previous node is over here. Hopefully This one takes some time to grow a new leaf, so then, because it's just have this distance, I'll have to think of it later. But essentially all of the root are inside the Lechusapon. So all I did is not to completely remove this out of the pot. I just twist it and to direct it to grow to the direction to the right. So in that perspective, it's a little trick that I do. How successful it is, I'm not sure. I'll let you know in, say, 2 months' time and see if it grows well. Then maybe that will be a trick for you after it outgrow your pot. But I also want to show you this one over here. This is pretty obvious pest damage. And I have seen both spider mite and thrips. Let's have a look and see if they have any now. Okay, I think I did a pretty good job. Let's see. Okay, I think I did a pretty good job in removing the thrips and also spider mite. Spider mite is relatively easy to fix, but thrips isn't. I could make a separate video on the pest management, but I still want to experiment a little bit more before I share anything with you. But you can see that over here, this one is the newest leaf that pushed out from another grow point. You can see that this leaf is pretty deformed. I would say very deformed. This is definitely because of the pest situation. You can see that the thrips has actually chewed up the material of the leaf on the side just before this leaf has unfurled, and also this massive damage on the corner. At the beginning, this is because it is very dry. It wasn't able to unfurl by itself. However, afterwards I discovered that there is a lot of pest. But as I said, I have used my way to remove all of the spider mite and also thrips. Let's see if I see anything. No, actually no, can't really see anything. So yeah, this hopefully will look nicer. And then this one over here is my Veitchia palm. This is the plant that impressed me the most when it comes to how slow it grows. I have bought this one 2 years ago, almost. This is the new leaf that comes with it. However, at the time when I got it, is around this size. This size over here, so then it actually has grown 1 meter more than the time when I got it, and at the same time it has split into 2, or maybe I would say a new leaf, a separate one, has grown last year in 2022. However, a new leaf takes more than 1.5 years. Now it's still unopened, so I guess a new leaf takes almost 2 years to open, if it opens this year. The youngest one that comes together with the new leaf or split from the new leaf, that one, I guess it will open in 4 years' time. So let me know in the comment box below, any one of you actually have a Veitchia palm in your home? I mean, I'm very impressed by how beautiful it turned my apartment, and also how tropical. I can just pan backwards and you can see how it looks like in the home environment. Just do it like this, and you can see it is really, really nice as a tree in-house, but it is very, very slow growing. So one thing is it's good, so then I don't have to worry about kind of replacing my ceiling, which is impossible, but it would be nice if it is a little bit fuller, because I did chop 2 leaves off during these 2 years time, because it has just brown off and dried up. So yeah, that's the Veitchia palm. And just to pan 2 backwards, this one over here is a very pretty edition, I guess around a year ago. This is the Boston Fern, I believe. And if you look into the combination of everything, the palm tree behind and also the philodendron heart-shaped leaf wall, it makes it a very special plant together. And it is also extremely thirsty most of the time. I went for a holiday for a month. Yes, it's very long. My friend helped me to water it every week, a week and a half. It dried up quite a bit, but because it has air roots like this grown in the environment, I guess it managed to get some moisture in the air, but it still dried up quite a significant amount of leaf. That's fine because it's very big. At the time when I got it, I think it is 1/3 the size. It has grown into a monster size, and particularly I have hanged it in a transparent pot, and it's very small pot, as you can see over here. I'm not surprised why the water dried up really quickly, but this is how I really like it displays, because it's just extremely transparent, I would say. It almost non-existent for the root and soil. Oh, I don't use soil, let's use a pot inside. So it is very good looking as a very large plant in such a tiny pot. But at the same time, next to it, it is the Hoya Bella that I am so happy to constantly manage to keep it alive. I'm not saying that Hoya Bella is difficult, but it is a spider mite magnet as well. As you can see, some spider mite damages over here. But because it grows very fast, even though it has damages here and there, it's still continuously pushing out new growth point. And I could show you the latest peduncle that is growing, one over here. And there's another one all the way in the very end. You probably can't see it, but it's a huge plant. And I like how it combines very nicely together with the fern next to it. And then let's move on to my Hoya side. It is such a sunny day that I can't not wait to show you this part, because as you can see, the lighting just made it like a painting on the wall. I am glad that I have very light colored wall coloration, and with the sun and also the green, it becomes a picture, a living picture on the wall that it constantly change the shape and how it looks like, if you get what I meant. Right, I think you already took a quick glance. Yes, my Hoya stopped flowering now already. Now it's February or / March, and you can see it's the end, or hopefully, the end of winter. And this is Hoya Krohniana. And I'm very happy with the smell. I actually don't know it has flowered until I smelt it yesterday night. It smells very strong, particularly during the nighttime. And now you can see there are so many peduncle budding up. This will definitely be just a little bit more. This actually comes from all the way above. This is the plant that drizzle downwards, and then you see all of these flower everywhere. The Krohniana is flowering a lot over there as well, as you can see on the corner. Probably can't hear me very well. I will invest in some sound microphone, I guess, but after YouTube pay me a little bit more, I will wait a little bit. But you see that it's just filled with peduncle, and it is all from this one plant, the Krohniana. This one, it's slightly smaller if you could spot it out. This one is actually from Hoya Rebecca. Let me see if you could see it nicely. Turn it like this. So this one is Krohniana, and you can see the coloration are very similar, but if I take this one side by side, there you go. The one on the left-hand side, that one is from Rebecca. It is slightly smaller, and it did kind of have a hint, maybe a very, very small hint of pink, but because the light is not strong enough, it is almost the same color as Krohniana. But you can see the Krohniana one is slightly larger on the back. I hope it focuses nicely. So this is very nice, and after that, I don't want to miss out the ones in the back. So this one over here, this one is Hoya Collina IR26. This one has stopped growing. All right, I guess it's because of this. Very nice millibugs. I'm gonna finish you. After this video, probably I'm gonna wash my hand before continuing. I'll get back. Alright, I just sprinkled some solution to fix the mealybug. The sun is going to be away after an hour time, so I guess this small sprinkle should be fine, and that is not oil based, so that should be fine. And continue. This one is IR26, and in the same pot I actually placed NS05-055. They don't look exactly the same, but I just run out of space. Here you can see a better one with some light on. It is a very beautiful Hoya when it comes to sun stressing, but because I'm not putting in the Mealspo cabinet, the coloration is different. It's very, very pink when it is sun stressed, but in normal sunlight, probably can't see it very well, but it's more like a bronze color. And on top of this one, it is, I'm gonna put the name down. I actually forgot this one. Oh, apologize. But this one is huge. As you can see, it has drizzle all the way down and down and down. It is very huge. And above this one here, this one is Hoya Kentiana, or it has an accession number as well. It is also called Zambales. I bought this one as Hoya Zambales. It is growing not as quick as the one below, but just stay the speed. I don't have enough space, so that's good. And I can show you this one behind. This one over here is Hoya Krohniana Super Silver. I want to show you the silvery leaves and also with the reflection. You can see that under the sun, it has this shininess on this silver leaf. And even though this one is not that expensive when I bought it, I still very, very cherish it because it is a very pretty Hoya with amazing flower. And the flower smells extremely good. Actually, is it? No, this one over here down is Hoya Lacunosa without any particular specification, because I got this one from a garden center, but apparently it is starting the flowering season. This is the normal Lacunosa that I have, but I would say Lacunosa is very interesting because in the same pot it actually have very different leaf shape. This one, potentially it could look like Mr. Tent because of the elongated leaf shape, but not as elongated as Mr. Tent. And then it also have some kind of rounder ones. If we pen down here, this is much rounder, so it is just very different. Have a look at this combination, but it is in the same plant. So I really like this one. However, this one don't really sun stress. It only have kind of bleach situation, as you can see that one there. That's how it's sun stressed. So this I could definitely tell the difference between different species, subspecies of Lacunosa. Then we pan to the left-hand side. This one is Hoya Rosita. It is definitely a flowering machine over the winter months. I hope it still continue in the summer and spring month, but you can see that's one new peduncle that has grown, but also there are new buds growing in the existing spur, and I believe there are much more. I just don't want to squeeze in that corner. But then if we pan down here, this is definitely the champion of flowering. It never stopped flower ever since it has pushed out the first flower. Could you guess what this one is? 2 seconds. This one is Hoya SP Affinity Botoniae. You can see there are so many flowers, like all around the pot, and it has never stopped growing flowers, and it has a very serious mealybug infestation before. I use the neem oil solution, and probably I still see some on the flower, so I have to sprinkle again on this plant. But even there are so many mealybug infestation, it's still kind of okay. It never stopped growing or pushing out new peduncle. You can see this one over here, it's a new one. This one down here, it has opened up. Also at the back over there. There you go. It is just impressive. Over here there are some new ones, and then here, oh, could you see the nectar? It's like crystals. I tasted it, it's pretty sweet. Just make sure that there's no mealybugs on it, so then you don't eat the mealybugs. Oh, pretty gross just from thinking. But yeah, it is definitely a flowering machine. If you are interested to have a Hoya that constantly flower and give you some really sweet with caramel scent, then definitely go for this one. The one below is Hoya Mathilde. It has some splashes in the new leaves. It doesn't have in the older ones. You can see that on the pan down. The older ones there, those ones are very, I would say plain green. Let's see, it's more plain green color. But then the new ones that pushed out has quite nice splashes. You can see here. I really like Hoya Mathilde because it grows very quick, and it grows all the way up actually to where Rosita. I'm going to show you, but let me focus on this one. See, look at this, so nice. And all of them has a bit of splashes, and it grows all the way to where Rosita locates. So see, it is a very nice branching plant, I would say. All right, then we move on to this side. Here you see the top one, if you could tell from the sun stress pattern. It's a pretty common one, but it is also very classic pink flower Hoya. This one over here has started its flowering season. It is Hoya Sunrise. The Hoya Sunrise, for me, it is quite special because at the time when I got the leaves, when I bought the plant, the leaf looks like this. But when I have this highlight condition, or my condition, the leaf grows like this. It's just like a separate species, or separate subspecies. You see that the vein is still very, very prominent, but comparatively the size is 1/3. Yeah, this is very special. And I really like the flowers because the flowers are slightly larger than, or I would say kind of much larger than the Rebecca, but it's very pink. So I think it's a very beautiful flower. And also if you like medium size leaf, it would be a great choice for you. And pen down here, this is one plant that I never expect to see the flower. Even though it is right next to my south-facing window, it never pushed out a peduncle. Let me know in the comment box below if you have any suggestion. I heard that this one is Hoya Curtisii. I heard that for Hoya Curtisii, it has to be very mature in order to push out flower, but this was also kind of a myth because most of the Hoya don't really need to be mature in order to push out flowers. So let's see how soon I can have this bloom. Then move on. Hello. This one over here is the absolutely Millibug magnet. I have tried to rescue it so many times and I just keep on trying, even though I risk this plant in the state the rest of my plant, I still wanted to keep it. Here is Hoya Lucardenasiana. Let's see if there's any potential mealybug situation. Just from a very quick glance, can't see anything. I hope I will manage to remove most of the mealybugs, and honestly, spring is not coming yet, so I mean it is coming, but it's not here yet, so maybe I still have some time to fix the mealybug situation before they become huge before spring. So yeah, Lucardenasiana has really beautiful flower. It kind of, just from the picture because I never seen it, it kind of resemble Rosita. It's a deep purple color flower, but let's see, it has really nice round leaves. Okay, then we move up to the famous plate of Hoya. This one, I managed to put tags on all of them on this plate. It takes me some time, but it's very important. This right in front is the sister of Hoya Mathilde. This one is Hoya Chouke. It is different than the Mathilde, quite significantly, I would say. I like this one because this one is like a mini version of a Carnosa. It is not so big, but then it has that kind of pointy leaf shape. It is also very regular when it comes to the sizing. It has splashes as well if you give it white highlight condition. And the size, I would say the way it grows, it could be a very nice trailing plant, because you can see that it trailed down nicely, and the lower it is, the leaf without support grows smaller. That's the reason why I like it this way, because in the top you can see on the top here the leaves are maybe like this size, but if you go to the newest leaf, the leaf is probably half the size, just to have a quick combination here. So it will be very nice to trailing down like this, and you will have different leaf size, but smaller ones on the bottom. But if you want to make the leaf to be larger and branch out more, trailing it in what's that called? In kind of like a support will allow it to grow in the form that is very full pot. And over here, this one is Hoya Revoluta. I really like this one, but it hasn't really grown too much in my condition. However, I believe this year could be the year. I got this one from ASEAN Plant Export. It hasn't really grown much. I suspect it could be mites problem, but let's see, maybe I'll just try to spray some stuff on it and see. But all in all, it is a beautiful one. It has this elongated leaf shape and super pointy end. I also see a new growth point. Do you see there? So yeah, maybe. Let's see if that one continue growing. If not, I will do something. But as I have explained to you in my Q&A session, I try not to do too much to my plants. And over here, I am so proud of this one. This one over here is Hoya Vaccinioides. I have grown it into a very beautiful trailing down plant. If you can see this, the shape of it is just so pretty. The way it trailed down, I remember the first time when I saw this type of growth pattern is from Emily's home. All of her Vaccinioides, Angulera, Bella, everything that she trailed down like this grows incredibly pretty. I really hope one day my plants could grow like hers because it's very aesthetically pleasing, her plants. And I think for this one, it started growing like that. It's trailing down nicely, and then some of them also grow upwards. But once this one is very heavy, it will trail down like this. So I very like that. All right, and you can't see the pot, but it's a pot over there. This one is Hoya Loheri. The way it grows, it's quite intense. As you can see, it is growing all over the place. Oh, let me see, is that? No, I was thinking that this may be mealybugs, but this is actually a new leaf and it's a new stem. So all good. This one, it's like elongated bean shape, and it also curled inwards. The thing about Loheri is it grows so fast. This is actually a cutting of the mother plant, and I have to sell the mother plant because I don't have enough space. However, this child plant has grown so much already, so could you go slower, please? And then this one, I have a very long peduncle. You see this one here? This has been there for like maybe a year, since last spring, and it's not doing anything. Just like that, it's like crazy long. And there's also a root. I'm pretty sure this one is a peduncle. Again, let me know in the comment box below, do you think this one is a peduncle? Because normally this one will branch out like this, and it doesn't. That's very strange and odd. Anyways, then move on to slightly to the right hand side. Well, this one over here is Hoya Davidcumingii yellow flower. That one there is Bakoensis. Both of them are not growing significantly fast during the winter month. So yeah, I will give you a little bit more update when it actually grow a little bit more. Yeah, I think this is how it, maybe it has grown this much during the autumn months and kind of went dormant in the winter months. This one over here is Bakoensis. The flower always bud up, and now it has dropped, so I'll just wait and see. But this one is not very fast growing outside my Millsboro cabinet. In my Millsboro cabinet, it grows like in steroids. Let's have a look at this beautiful splashy one. This one is Monstera Thai constellation. It has pushed out one new leaf over here during winter month. I feel like in my experience for Thai constellation, it grows very slow. Maybe also I just have it next to the wall, which translates to no direct light. It's basically the light bouncing back between walls. It will go onto the leaf. I highly suspect that if I give it direct morning light, it will have larger leaf and it will grow faster. However, I don't have enough space, so there you go. Sorry about that, Thai constellation. This is everything you can get for now. Okay. Let me try to get this. That one. Let's see. That's a new leaf over there. And I probably need to climb up the stairs to show you the one all the way to the top. I'll do that after I grab myself a chair. Before that, let's have a look. I would particularly like to show you this one. Yes, this one is actually the latest new leaf from the Monstera obliqua, Peru. I am so happy that when I got it, it is just 2 leaf. One of the original leaf has dropped off, and I believe this one is the last new leaf that pushed out. And right after that, it has sized up significantly. I would say it is doubled the size. And if you look into this newest leaf, the fenestration is very deep. Even though the leaf is very small, the fenestration is already like 8 holes in total. I look super forward for it to grow more leaf, and also if you see, the growth pattern is quite compact. The node is there and it's not significantly growing larger and more leggy. So in that perspective, I'm very happy with how quick it has grown. And you can also see it has a little bit of pest damage here. I found there are several thrips, but I managed to remove them all, I guess. Let's hope. And yeah, this one I'm very happy to update you how nice it has grown. It is very, very friendly. I remember for obliqua, people say that you need to make sure to keep it in the highest humidity, like 90%, and then you need to keep it really warm. But I have watched a video from Kevin, and he said that he just kept it in the room environment, and that's actually why I purchased this one at the time. And now it actually is proved. I can tell you my growing condition. For this one, it only have 2 leaves to begin with. I put this one in my room environment. I basically just put it underneath the light that I have over here. Basically, that's how it is. And I am happy that it is growing happily and continuously pushing out new growth. This one is actually my dream plant that I wanted since 2021. I think that was a video from Amy. She shows that she has this 1 leaf or just several leaf cutting philodendron, and that grows so pretty. This one here is Philodendron Mayoi. I am kind of obsessed with finger-like leaves. I have different ones, and Mayoi is the one that I don't have. And I was able to get a huge one maybe a year ago, but then they weren't able to ship it to where I live. That was during the COVID pandemic. But I'm so happy. This one, although I kind of could tell, this one is likely to be tissue cultured plant, because you can see that that leaf is very small, and then it grows mature like this. I suspect, but that's no problem. I really hope that I can grow huge Mayoi. Currently, it looks very similar to my other plant I have, Philodendron Xanadu. You can see that this Xanadu is very similar to the baby Mayoi, but let me try. Okay, there you go. You see, these two are very similar, but for Mayoi, it is much larger when it comes to a baby form, because as you can see, this one here is just a baby. Just a baby means this one is the 4th leaf of the entire plant, and it is already the same size as my Xanadu over here. And this Xanadu is almost 2 years old now. I started, all of the original leaf I already chopped off, but you can see that this one here is what this leaf is like 6 months after I've started. And then it grows so many different leaves, and then the newest leaf, I guess, is probably this one. And this is 2 years old. So for Xanadu, I guess this takes time to grow very largely. But for Xanadu, I have high hopes. But all of these Xanadu leaves are so pretty. And obviously, this is Xanadu golden, so it's more of a lime green color. Right, let's catch the sun. This one over here is Philodendron, not Hoya, Philodendron Golden Dragon. I just let it grow the way it likes. And I know that for plants, they're so smart, because if I show you at the back, all of the leaves are trying so hard to face towards the sun. And this one, I just let it go all the way up. I didn't really add any pole or moss pole because I just don't have enough space for that. And I really like how it grows. Even though the leaf might be smaller, actually it's not, still very large. I just let it grow all the way up, and yeah, it's almost reaching out to the top now. So I have a pole over here, but for those parts that you can see over there that grows beyond the pole, I just let it grow this way, and once it reached that pot, I'll tie it up, just like what I did over here. You see, I just attached the stem together, and so they kind of support each other. Yeah, and of course, this one is Billietiae, Philodendron Billietiae. One time I was trying to bend the stem to make it look less free. It's very freestyle at the moment, but I actually broke it. So don't bend your Billietiae. These stem looks like it is very soft. No, it is not. I just and then it's gone. And that was a new leaf, but that's fine. I am looking forward for the new leaf, as you can see there. I'm looking forward for that one to grow out. So sorry about that. The previous leaf, I just gone. But look at this. The wall is growing itself. I haven't really bought any new leaves. I haven't bought any new plants ever since maybe since the winter has started. The Mayoi is the only one that I have bought in the past 4 months, but I love how leaves looks like. It just looks like you're in a jungle and you're trying to find your way out, and then all the leaves show you where the direction is because they face towards the sun. And yeah, let me climb up and I show you close up of the Joepii. We have reached the top. As you can see, this Joepii is, I'm sure that this one is not a mature form, but the space between the ears and the main leaf is quite significant. And there is another one behind that is very large. You can't really see there, but a new leaf is coming out over there. And just looking at the back, it is so pretty. It's just so peculiar when it comes to the shape. It's just like what Kaylee Ellen mentioned once. It's the discovered person thought this is a weird plant that got chewed up by insect. And just imagine how hard and heavy it is for the entire stem to carry on this leaf with the middle part so narrow like that. And it is a very easygoing plant as well. But the way it grows, it's quite freestyle. You really have to have a center to grab everything together. Otherwise, it just grows everywhere. And I don't have that space, so then I just need to constantly keep track of how these are growing. Then we move on down here to the plates of Hoya. Still see the sun is here, and then the Hoya is having a really nice sun bath, and I'm happy that they are happy. Let's see down here. So where to start? I have updated several things. My Vaccinioides is struggling, so then I removed it from here and tried to reroot it, but I can show you what I have now. I placed the Carmelae in this basket, so then this basket has different shape and texture of leaves. You have this Rotundiflora. It is very different from Carmelae. And then I also have this very beautiful, it grows really nice actually. I'm a bit surprised for how good this grows. This one is Hoya Isabel Chunks. I don't know about this. GPS 735. And it is having quite a lot of peduncle. I hope it will push out some flowers. And then I have this one. This one here is Sigillatis. It struggled a little bit because of pest, but now I think it is slowly recovering. And I don't think Sigillatis is an easy one. It's pretty difficult in my experience. However, if you manage to grow it, it is very rewarding because the splash and the sun stressing and also the leaf shape particularly I haven't seen, but the flowers are very pretty. Look at the splash. And over here, this one is the huge Heuschkeliana green. It has a big mealybugs infestation, but I guess I fixed it. I guess. Quotation, I guess. Because I haven't seen anything yet. This one over here is Hoya Krohniana. It has quite a number of peduncle, but after I have seen the first time, none of the peduncle actually managed to push out. But it is continuously growing in a very slow pace. Alright, I can show you these ones actually. These ones, I still haven't chopped it off. I guess I should. Let me know in the comment box below, should I just chop these off? Maybe I should, this one's kind of dried. Anyways, these ones are the seed pods that opened up, and I just keep it there in case anything else happened, which probably just me being lazy, but I kept it there. Maybe I'll just remove this one because now I feel it's dried. I was hoping that the peduncle could actually regrow new flowers, but no, this one is the pedicel. So I guess this one I just remove it, but there you go. That's how it looks like after I removed I collected the seeds around 2 weeks ago. And that one is serpens. And then over here, this one is a Numerorioides. I think Numerorioides is very special Hoya because it could suddenly grow super much and suddenly push out so much flower. But even though the peduncle is not one-off, I haven't seen flowers after that huge bomb of flowering that I have shown you in my Hoya Bloom series. So let's see if when spring hits, is it going to flower so much again, which is kind of troublesome because I need to do a lot of vacuum cleaning to remove all the flowers on the floor. Then this one is the pretty Hoya Heuschkeliana variegated. Inner variegated. I have the outer variegated, but it is still a cutting, a very small cutting. So hopefully in a couple of years it will grow like this. Heuschkeliana inner variegated is still one of the prettiest coloration leaves that I've seen. Not only the leaves are very attractive, the flowers are also really cute. Imagine this one also together with pink caramel flavor flower. Oh my goodness, this is a perfect plant. Not so expensive now, and it is super rewarding. This one is Hoya serpens, as you can see. Let me try to close up. This one, I actually managed to have Tenchungensis recently. I acquired Tenchungensis. I will make a video showing you all of the small rounded leaf Hoyas I have to show you what are the difference between all of these ones that I have. Not all of them I have, but the ones that I have, I would like to show you because that was my question. Because I've seen a lot of pictures on Instagram, not side by side, but they'd say that Tenchungensis is different from serpens. And also the recent published one and collected one, the Hoya IM02, Hoya IM08, and also several new species found in Papua New Guinea. So let's see. I will do that video one day. And yeah, this is so cute. Alright, then I think I will move on to here. This one over here is Hoya Endoensis. It's growing quite nice, but as you can see over here, I have done mealybug treatment I guess these leaves just did not manage to make it, so I'll probably just wait for it to die. Well, yeah, maybe it's because this stem itself is dying, so I'll just chop that off. But my Endalensis doesn't really have a very nice shape. Let me know in the comment box below, how does your Endalensis look like? I remember seeing once in the garden center here, the Endalensis doesn't have having this kind of uneven leaf surface. It's very smooth and it's very pretty. Mine, it's like it has gone through a lot. This one is Hoya Iris Marie. It is a gift given by Emily when I purchased several cuttings from her. It was a huge cutting that she gave me, but this is very fast growing and it is also really pretty for the new leaf. It is not so small, but at the same time not so big, and it just grows super much. You can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 new growth points. It's because I chopped it into 4 parts, and all of them has grown nicely. Perhaps I should. Yeah, definitely. I definitely should water it, and when I have time, I should definitely repot it. I want to buy a trellis to trellis this one because I think it will look very nice, like a round circle one. I used up all of my wires, so oops, I need to wait. Right, let's have a look. Oh, by the way, this is the temperature that I have. It's 21. Now it's pretty warm. 35, very low humidity, but that's how it is. And over here, you can see Philodendron polypoidioides. I really like this one over here. You can see that it has a lot of split now. At the time when I bought it, it is probably 1/4 the size, and I just think this one is absolutely beautiful, and also it's rewarding because the leaves sized up really quickly, and also the internode are very close together. So in that perspective, you don't really need to build a very high pole. It already could size up significantly larger. I'm sure that there are still a lot of size up room. I mean, this one is still relatively small compared to the mature one, but it's just so nice because that one over there is the first one, and then now it has grown to this one, and it's still quite soft. So this one, it is not yet hardened. Probably will be a little bit bigger. And then this one over here, it is the very colorful Philodendron Florida Beauty. This one has dropped quite a number of leaves. As you can see, I guess around 2 leaves that has dropped. That's why the stem is slightly empty. Those one is mostly because it is very highly variegated. I think for the genetic of this plant, it is very variegated because most of the time it comes completely white with a teeny tiny bit of green, and this one is the newest growth point that has been dormant, I would say, for 4 months, ever since the winter has kicked in. But now it has kind of started off again. I can tell that it is start growing again. And over here, this one is the latest new leaf. I'm trying not to break anything. As you can see here, the variegation has not completely turned to the creamy yellow yet, and this is an entirely variegated leaf. Just this tiny chunk is having green, as you can see. So I think for this one it will be pretty variegated, and as you can see over here, the coloration is very much like cream from this part and just a little bit of green. So I still have high hope of this one not being completely variegated. But look at this one. The coloration is just so nice. These are the original leaf that comes with, and one of the very variegated one has unfortunately dropped, but I think because of the condition, it is very high light, That's why you can see that the internodes are very close together, and that also means I probably don't have to extend the pole very often, but definitely for Polypoidioides it has an even closer internode. And move up a little bit here. This one is Philodendron Jerry Horn. This one is a little bit of a bummer because it didn't really size up. It actually reverted to a smaller size. This is original leaf that I got from my purchase, and the latest leaf, as you can see, yeah, probably over here. This one is the leaf that actually grows the youngest. And I'm not sure about this one because if I just focus, this one looks like it has reverted to even smaller size. And if you look into this one, I believe this one is the previous size. And then it goes to this one. Wait, no, hang on. It is actually this one over here. You can see that the lobes has actually go even smaller. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Let me know in the comment box below because it is already really highlight, but the internode, as you can see, is very wide. It almost gives me the internode vibe of this one. This one is Pervisi Verde. Yeah, this one has a bit of a problem over there. And then above here is the very large Strelitzia Nicolai. You can see that that one is the new leaf, and this is a new leaf that pushed out. It is very nice, but perhaps it is quite dense over here. I'm not too sure about how sustainable it is in my apartment. Maybe I just need to chop a few large leaf off so then it won't be falling off eventually. You can see that it's very dense. I think it has around 4 stem over here, so then it begins very large already. Yeah, but it is growing, and I am glad that it has not pushed out any new leaf during this winter months. Then we plant to this over here. This one is the very famous large Monstera that I have. It's Monstera deliciosa. As you can see, this is my hand, and it's huge. And the growth structure, because this one is the true deliciosa, you can see that the internode is very short between here. And because of the light source is actually from this location, the leaf has bent forward to that direction. If you can see the growth pattern of the stem, you can see that the stem is growing from there all the way to the left to the light source. So I'm not sure. Let me know what's your view for this stem. How should I structure it? I love how it grows. It grows very nicely in my apartment, but I have a feeling that the tendency of this one goes this direction towards the light will be highly likely. So yeah, I need to figure out. But if you look into the newest leaf, it is not as large as the previous one, which is this one. This is the leaf that grows before the newest leaf over here. This newest leaf actually pushed out during winter month, which is very surprising, but I'm open for that, of course. But then because of a lack of light, this leaf is larger than that one over there. But I am very happy that I actually have kind of 2 layers of fenestration for this one. Likely the new leaf coming out from that over there, it's going to be quite large. If you could already tell, I actually moved this one into the same area that my large Monstera is locating. This one over here is the variegated Monstera I have, and I really like how large the leaves are, but because this one is a stem cutting, so this one is the leaf that comes after, or I would say the first leaf that come after I have chopped it, and then you can see it actually grows all the way up, and that's the newest leaf over there. That leaf, I guess, is a little bit variegated, but not very variegated. So let's have a look at this one. Right next to the Monstera, I have added the fern over here. This is the tree fern. I'm not sure particularly which fern this is, but you can see that the growth pattern is very nice. It is really compact, but at the same time, this is not an easy plant to keep happy all the time, because you see that this one is very nice, no browning of the tips. However, there are some browning spotted over here. The reason is because I didn't water it properly. I was traveling, so it has a drought period, i.e. the Lechuza pond was not always moist, so because of that some of the tips has dried up, but this one actually grows very well. It recovers well, so you can see that the tip currently is very okay. So I just need to make sure that the Lechuza pond over there is always having a water reservoir. Moving on down here, this pot originally is the Philodendron Shangri-La, but because it has a lot of thrips, I tried to save it a couple of times, but I just need to chuck it away because it's just gone way beyond my control. This is weird. Why is it looking like this? I need to have a look. I didn't really look into this particular leaf. But this one over here, I bought it as Philodendron Longiobatum. I then realized that this one maybe is the Golden Dragon narrow form. Let me know in the comment box below. Do you think this one is Longiobatum or this one is actually the narrow form of the Golden Dragon? But regardless, this one is very pretty. This is the latest leaf, I think. It has not sized up much yet, but this one is an import that I got from LB Garden just before autumn. There is a new growth point over there. It started to push out since maybe 4 months ago, but then it just went dormant and stay over there. I am looking forward to the summer and spring month to come, and this could grow a bit more. Then moving on to this side, this one over here is a cutting that I got from a friend as a gift. This one is Philodendron Radiatum. This looks very similar to, I would say it looks very similar to Mayoi, but the way that it's it's a bit more pointy than Mayoi, and this one is also a very young plant. I see a thrip over here. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to spray some stuff and then I could just remove it right now. Okay, I just broke it like this. Let's see. It looks like it has some kind of pest issue. Let's see if there's any. Okay, there's another one. Okay, I'm going to fix that. But this one is the Radiatum, Philodendron Radiatum. It is very close together when it comes to the node itself. It probably goes upward, as I guess, but I look forward for this one to grow larger. I'm gonna move to this side, showing you a new setup that I have. I actually have removed all of the Syngonium from here before and chopped it up, and also kind of give it to friends because I wanted to have more space for my Hoyas. So now it is the Hoya time. We can start from here. This one here is Hoya Bourtii. I got it maybe half a year ago. It has grown very well. It has rooted really well in the Lechuza pond, but because at the time when I got it, it may not like how the change of environment is, because this new growth over here took half a year to push out, but I'm very happy that it finally has pushed out this new leaf. And this one over here is Hoya Croatia. Oh, not Croatia. Okay, let's see. What is the name? I have it in the tag here. Hoya Curtisii. And this one, I really like it because it is very glossy, as you can see, this reflection over here. And it also pushed out a new growth point, which is here. Yeah, I look forward to have a bigger plant. And if we look into this one, the one behind is Hoya Krohniana. The growth speed is very quick for Krohniana. So there is actually two node, and there is a leaf there before, but then for some reason it dropped off. So I'll just wait until next time. And then this one is another cutting that I have, and it has grown a new leaf. You see that the new leaf has very, very nice speckles, and also it's a bit velvety, and it has pushed out a new vine over here. And this one over here is Hoya Vaccinioides, SLM02, subspecies Tenebolsa. I will show you the spelling of the name, but this one, as you can see, in a treatment that I have, I believe this is because of sunburns. For example, when I have some oil-based solution on top of the leaf and it didn't evaporate properly before I apply light, this happened. Let me know in the comment box below in your experience if this is what happened. I really want to learn more about pest control. Yeah, this one hasn't really grown too much ever since I moved this one from my Mealsbow cabinet to the outside environment. Moving on to this one, it is a new species that has been discovered. This one over here, I will insert the name because I forgot. It has very fuzzy back, as you can see in the close-up. I have, in a very smart way, broke off that new stem because I was showering it, and I think there is a new growth point in this set of leaf, if you can see over there. So let's hope this one is safe from me. And moving on to this one is the very beautiful Hoya Bella. Heavily infestated by pest, particular mealybugs, when it was in the Mealsbow cabinet. It has grown super large. Even though there are pest infestation, it never stopped growing and pushing out new leaf. Those ones are the dead mealybugs marks because I have treated it, and I haven't seen mealybugs for a while now. But after I have moved it out from my Mealsbow cabinet, it actually grow really nice leaves. This one here are two new growth point that is pushing out on the tip, and when it was in a very high light condition, the cream color is so intense, and also the leaf become very thick. Not my most ideal texture that I would like to have in a Hoya Bella, but you can see that there is a new flower coming out from there. You see that the coloration is much better. It is not a cream lime color, but more of a light green color, which is much more favorable in my opinion. And moving on to this, another colorful one. This one you can see it is Pang Choi. It's pretty difficult in my experience. Pang Choi is not that friendly. It's quite difficult to start growing in my experience. But ever since I moved it out from the Mealsbow cabinet with very high light condition, it is pushing out quite a number of new growth. And the most exciting part is that it actually pushed out this one. This is a new peduncle that it has pushed out, and I have constantly been seeing it growing. So I hope this bud will continuously grow. That over here is the first peduncle that has grown, but then the tip dried up. I mean, the buds dried up, but the peduncle is still here. So I hope it will rebud again. And moving on, there is a new peduncle over here. This peduncle looks like it's drying out, but it seems like it is not. But regardless, I'm very happy that a peduncle has grown. This one is Mirabilis that I got from Camilla. This is a very beautiful clone because the leaf shape is very elongated and also the size is very small. Maybe it's because of the mealsbow cabinet. You see this leaf is much larger than the rest, and the rest over there is grown in my mealsbow cabinet. And yeah. And over here, this one is Caspadii. You can see that the leaves are very round, but because I placed this one in the mealsbow cabinet before, it is having very high light. It is not having the best coloration, especially look at that one. This one here is burnt, but after I have placed it out here, these are doing pretty well. It looks really nice, these ones. They are round and green color instead of looking a bit sick, so that's good. Over there, this one is Hoya Nicosonii New Guinea Ghost. This one is heavily infestated by mealybugs before as well, but now that I put it out and also keep treating it, I believe most of the mealybugs has gone. And last week I actually saw there's a peduncle there. I can show you a picture. I was hoping that I could see a Nicosonii New Guinea Ghost flower, but unfortunately that dried up and died. The coloration on that leaf, you can see that it kept the coloration even though I have moved it out from the mealsbow cabinet for more than 2 months now. So it is a very beautiful coloration plant when it comes to silver having sun stress. And I want to show you this one. This one over here is Hoya Leytensis. The Hoya leaves that I have in my mealsbow cabinet is very thick, as you can see over here. This one is a leaf that grows under the mealsbow cabinet condition. Also, the stem is incredibly thick. However, it is not actually what I wanted. I think this one is a bit too much thickness. But after I have moved out of my mealsbow cabinet, the stem has significantly reduced the thickness, and particularly the leaves is much more thin. Look at this on the side. And I prefer this leaf consistency, because then when the leaf is thinner and the stem is thinner, it's much easier for it to hang down. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. So this one is a completely new stem that has grown outside in my normal room environment. You can see that the stem is thin. This is also something that I saw from Emily's collection. Her Lithophilica is like this. Leaves are bigger and also much thinner, and also the stem is thinner. So it is a super pretty hanging basket in her growing condition. Comparatively, these ones are very thick. It looks a bit strange hanging down because the stem itself looks thicker than the leaf itself. So I'm happy that I made a decision to put it outside of the mealsbow cabinet in the corner, receiving just amount of light in winter time. Sorry about the visibility. I have way too much plants. So yeah, it's kind of blocking, but yeah, that's what I want to show you. Then moving down over here, I want to show you this because this is the plant that I had babysitted it, but I realized that it's better not to. This one is Hoya discipulae. At first, I put it in my mealsbow cabinet. It received way too much light and the leaves become very small and bleached. This is an example of being bleached. However, after I have placed it outside, it has pushed out a lot of new growth. See that there? That is a new growth point that is coming out. And there is another growth point pushing out. And it's just very nice. And yeah, I was like, is that mealybugs? No, that is just a dead leaf. So I think for thin leaf Hoya, particularly as thin as discipulae and also midinlifolia, and also this one over here. This one is, let me look at my transparent tag. This one is Mcdowell. They really don't prefer living in highlight condition. I can just share my experience with you. I thought the higher the light is, they will like it, but no, for thin leaf Hoya, in my experience, they don't like it. For this one, as I said, it become really small, and then it still grows, but then the growth pattern doesn't look that nice. And for the Mepigera, it kind of grow really weird leaf shape. It grows, it continued to grow, but it's not as happy as a lower light condition. Here, for this Mepigera, it is in a much lower light condition. It took a bit of time to acclimate from the Miltsbo high humidity, high light, and warm environment to outside medium cold, I would say. Now, it finally pushed out a new vine. And I think that is a flower over there, so I'll just be very patient on this one and just keep it there without paying too much attention and too much care. It will just grow itself. I just need to make sure the water reservoir is not dried up. It's almost dried up. I need to add water. And speaking of another thin leaf Hoya, the Midinleafolia, it's not happy when it was in the Miltsbo cabinet. But after I have placed it outside, it has pushed out, I believe, 2 new leaves. This is a new leaf. And also that one over there, I believe. And then it just went dormant. But it's fine. I'm not mad of this stop growing because there is a peduncle that has pushed out after I have moved it from the Miltsbo cabinet to the outside environment. And you can see that the leaf coloration is much better now. Previously, maybe it's this one. Can't really see a significant difference, but I could tell that there are some spots of burnt, you see, in the yellowish color in the leaf. Because of that, after I have moved it outside, I think it become better, and it actually tells me that from the growth pattern, it's happier. This is also from the high light condition, I believe. And this one I want to show. This one over here is not identified or published yet, but it is a new species that I bought from LB Garden in the last order. It is SP Celovasi. So what I really like about this is look at the new leaves. It's so glossy, and also you kind of see the veiny pattern underneath, and it is also a little bit hairy on the surface. And the round leaf shape together with just a little bit of pointiness in the end, this is extremely cute. And it is growing pretty well. I grow this one in my normal environment, as I have said. It is fine, it likes it, and it just keeps growing as well. And the one behind is a new discovery as well, is also SP, and this is SP Pabwa. This one, what I really like is that the leaf is very fuzzy, and also it's in dark green color. At first, this one I thought it's dying in the Ziploc bag, but then I just kept it there and keep how I offer the environment for it, and it actually bounced back. And there's a new vine coming out after I have moved it out from the Ziploc bag. And also this one is Hoya Surisana. It is just one of the cutting that I have, but it is doing okay. I move it outside because you can see that the leaf is very sun stressed, so I would like to just leave it in my normal environment and see how could it grow. Last but not least, this one over here is Hoya SP Mini Kalimantan. I love this one. I saw the first time is actually from Ivy's post on Instagram. I saw these ones. She showed in her picture that the new leaf is round and small. It looks like Carmelae, but then it's very different when it comes to the flower. But at the time when I got it from LB, it's like this. See, it's pointy and a little bit elongated. These 6 leaves are grown in the room environment, or maybe 7 leaves here. So from that pattern, I can tell it, of course, it depends on the environment you give it. But these ones, these leaves over here, are the ones that I really, really adore. It's really pretty. This one over here is separated in my kitchen, as you can see the background. This one here is the one I have chopped up, the Philodendron Esqueleto. The reason is because unfortunately it has been heavily attacked by thrips. I have done many showers and also spray neem oil, but as I have mentioned in my Q&A, I don't really think neem oil is very effective for thrips. They're just too tough to tackle. So I have to chop up it into smaller size and basically chuck away the main plant. But as you can see here, it still have some thrips damage, but I haven't seen any more thrips in the past 2 weeks after I have moved it out in Ziploc bag, because I just want to make sure the thrips are contained within a very small area. So yes, I have treated it. Is that a thrip? Well, speaking of, thank you very much. Yes, it's good that I still place it in the kitchen area, so then it won't be too close to my other plant. So even though there are continuously having thrips, I think it is very happy when it comes to the root growth. I propagated it in water, and there is a new growth coming out over there. I just keep this in shower all the time, because now that it is in this container, and also it is just cuttings like this, it is much easier for me to put it in a shower. But yeah, after this one has been completely cured from thrips, I would pot it up in Lechuza planter, the smallest size I believe, because the root isn't that much, and I will have a pole, the transparent pole that Charmaine has taught everyone, of the lazy moss pole. So I will do that. Yeah, and I'll just have a closer look on the thrips, because I found one just now. Thank you very much to stay until now. I wish you enjoyed the content today. I really enjoy showing you the houseplant that I have, particularly showing you how they have grown, because that is actually what I wanted to know when I see other videos. I want to know if that plant has grown, if that plant has grown fast, if that plant has encountered some problem, and do those people over-counter it, and how do they resolve that problem. So let's discuss. If you have any question or any problem that you have encountered, I would also learn from your experience as well. So leave a comment down below if you have anything you would like to ask, or anything that you would suggest me to do. If you like this type of content and you want me to continue producing similar content in 3 or 4 months' time, don't forget to like this video and share this video with your friends. If you like this type of content and you don't want to miss out next time when I posted similar content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out next time. Until next time, I wish everyone is having a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!